All right, let's talk some Detroit Lions football. Tomorrow, if you don't know, we play the Arizona Cardinals on Fox 2 if you're in Detroit. It is at 4:25 Eastern Standard Time. So we playing on the West Coast. If you didn't know, we at Arizona tomorrow. So that means we'll be playing 3 hours later. By the time that game come on, if it was played on the East Coast time, it would be over with. So it's on Fox 2 in Detroit. So let's talk about some things. First, we're going to talk about Desmond Trufant. Then we're going to talk about the Lions' lack of explosive plays downfield. But let's get to it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button. Check our Detroit Lions Talk one-on-one playlists out for live stream. Check our Detroit Lions Talk regular playlists out for regular videos. But yeah, Desmond Trufant has been ruled out tomorrow. I think that's a huge blow. So Jeff Okudah will be starting. So it's a negative and it's a positive here. As Jeff Okudah, if he is who we believe he is, if he goes out there each week in and week out, he will get better. No, he might have some bad games, might have some good plays, might have some good games. But he will get better and better as long as he don't lose confidence. So that's a positive. Everybody looking at the negative of Trufant not being in there. But the positive is, Jeff Okudah get more growth. Remember, he didn't get those mini camp or OTA snaps. He got all mental reps via Zoom. So it's going to take some time to get used to those receivers and pretty much how they see tendencies and how you let Davante Adams burn them down the field. If you up that close at the line, you don't get your hands on Davante Adams or most receivers in the National Football League, you're going to get burnt. So he'll learn that. He'll learn how to, how some of these receivers, get releases off the line. And it just takes, repetition. It's like any job out there. If you really if you good or you dedicated to the job, the more and more you do it, it's repetitious, the better you get. So I believe that you got to look at the half glass full here. Trufant get an opportunity. Okudah get opportunity that Trufant drop. And that's just going to mean that Okudah by the time Trufant come back or by the time, it's time for, Trufant to leave up out of here, Okudah going to be ready to start. So, instead of looking at it as, we don't have Trufant he had his limit. This is as good as Trufant going to be. I believe he's already maxed out years ago. Okudah should still get better and better. And the best way you learn for some people is going out there and doing it. So we'll see him and Amani out there, bookending at the cornerback positions tomorrow. Not sure if they're going to move Okudah into the nickel and have him playing outside. I think that's a little bit too much for a rookie playing in and out. Let him master out, and then eventually he can master the inside. But look forward to it. He got 2 good matchups tomorrow. Got Larry Fitzgerald and DeAndre Hopkins. So we'll see what happens, all right? So Trufant won't be playing tomorrow. Hunter Bryant has also been ruled out. I believe you already knew that. But I don't think anybody is crying over Hunter Bryant because they're not even using Jesse James anyway. And they barely using TJ Hockenson. Like I said, he should have 20 targets the last 3 weeks, in my opinion, including this week. But it is what it is. So let's move on. The Lions have had 2 deep ball attempts going into through 2 weeks that have been completed. Last year they had 8 deep ball attempts that was completed. So that's a huge drop right there. And what's the lack of, a lack of explosive plays? The lack of explosive plays is simply Kenny Galladay. Marvin Jones is a year older. His name is in trade talks. He could move, and people say, no, not Marvin. But remember, Marvin is on the last year of his deal. So, at the end of the day, you want to let him walk or you going to re-sign him to a long-term deal. Now, I don't think you want to re-sign a guy that's on the tail end of his career or on the downside of his career. We haven't seen the best of Marvin Jones in Detroit. All right? So then you got Amendola. He can't run by nobody. You got Marvin Hall. He barely get opportunities. And Jamal Agnew really ain't mastered the receiving position. So where's your explosive plays coming from? Without Galladay, it doesn't open up downfield for Marvin Jones. That's as simple as that. So if you don't open up downfield for Marvin Jones, now he's seeing regular coverage. Or he's seeing extra coverage because he the only threat that can get downfield, or he the only real athletic threat. And he ain't that athletic. Now that you doubling him or you giving him a little bit of attention, or you giving him regular attention, then he can't get those explosive plays down the field. Now you put Kenny Galladay out there, you gonna roll coverage that way. Now Marvin Jones get less attention. Now he's able to beat one-on-one coverage. They rolling that safety towards, if they playing single high, they rolling that safety towards Galladay, and they robbing to stop Amendola. If they robbing to stop Amendola and Hockenson in the middle of the field. All right, deep middle. So if they rolling and they robbing to stop them, then Marvin Jones versus any number 2 receiver in the league, you can count on him to win 3 or 4 battles out there underneath or going over the top. It's as simple as that. So the Kenny Galladay effect rolls coverage to him. Now everybody else gets single coverage. Now what I don't understand is why am they not using Hockenson more, where that'll suck coverage in the middle, that'll suck coverage to him, and then again Marvin Jones and Amendola and Quintez Cephas will have really, really good matchups on the outside where they might have an opportunity when they can run past somebody, but they not abusing T.J. Hockenson. He got 5 targets. He caught 5 balls week 1. He got 5 targets in week 2, caught 4 balls. That's unacceptable for him to have, have what? 10 targets through 2 weeks. He should have 10 targets, let alone in the Chicago game. They had no matchup for him. He should have 10 targets, let alone in the Green Bay Packer game. They had no matchup for him. But once again, is it Darrell Bevell or is it Matthew Stafford who can't really put the tight end into the game plan? You ask me. Brandon Pettigrew, Joseph Fourier, Eric Ebron, you go on and on, Luke Wilson. Who's the problem? Is it Stafford or is it Darrell Bevell? You know what I'm saying? It should be 1,000 plays strong up for Hockenson, especially with Galladay being out of the game. Now, also, when you talk about the lack of explosive plays, they haven't been able to get the run going last year, so that's not an issue with lack of explosive plays down the field. I just think teams have adjusted towards Darrell Bevell offense going into year 1 and year 2. So they know exactly what Darrell Bevell like to do, and now they're able to shut it down, especially with no Kenny Galladay out there. For God's sakes, Blog and Jeff Driscoll has some explosive plays down the field, I believe. But I just think it's a combination of a lot of Kenny Galladay not playing, and that's really changing. I think that's what it's all about. Outside of Kenny Galladay, the people was arguing with me in the chat, are we so deep at receiver? Now do you want to come back and apologize? We're not deep at receiver. Galladay is your one complete receiver that can get deep, that can work underneath. He everything. You go outside that, Marvin Jones can't take special attention. If they doubling or they giving regular coverage to Marvin Jones at this stage of his career, he ain't beating coverage. He ain't never been a number 1. He's been the ideal number 2 when him and Golden Tate played together. Even though he played on the outside a lot and Golden Tate moved in the slide and he moved around, really Golden Tate was the guy that was number 1. You had to stop. Marvin Jones is a player 2, dude, and that's okay. It's been a lot of great number 2s. Reggie Wayne was a number 2 for a long time. On the side of Marvin Harrison, one of the best ever to do it. I'm okay with. I'm not dissing him by saying he's a number 2 player, not at all. But that's what he's good at. Galladay has now matured and grown into the number 1 receiver spot. And when you don't have an explosive receiver that can stretch the field, how can I get deep plays? Who gonna run by you? At this point, Jones is not gonna run by, a lot of receivers, especially without Galladay rolling coverage. You're not abusing Galladay Hockenson from the tight end position. Danny Amendola not running by nobody. Quintez Cephas not running by nobody. They don't seem to be using DeAndre Swift out the backfield like the New Orleans Saints use Alvin Kamara, or the Patriots use, James White. Or the Panthers, I got to throw this in here, use Christian McCaffrey. So where do these explosive plays come from? You got a handful of explosive players on this offense. You got Swift. You got Agnew, which he ain't much use right now because he can't run no routes probably. You got Hall. You got Galladay. And you ain't had Galladay. And you got Ty Johnson. And I ain't seen him out there in the uniform yet. So you don't play Ty. You really don't use Agnew. So really you down with Swift, Galladay, and that's real, and Hall. And you don't really use Hall like that. So you really down to Galladay and Swift. So you want to know why they don't have explosive plays out the backfield? You want to know why they don't have explosive plays, down the field now? Because nobody can run by nobody that they play a lot. And it's as simple as that. Who running by you? This team lacks speed on both sides of the ball. And the one guy that's pretty athletic and Hockenson for his position, they don't use him. They don't go to him. So you got to ask yourself, are teams catching up to what the Lions do? I think it's a lot about what they don't have in Galladay. They put a lot of stock in Galladay being a number 1 receiver, being everything, and they don't have him, and they don't want to pay him. He's explosive. He's your underneath receiver. He's your possession receiver. He's starting to develop a route tree. You know what I'm saying? So even if you don't see Stafford being your quarterback next year, that he's a huge help to a rookie quarterback. You know, and if Marvin Hall ain't ready to step in and play at least 50, 60% of the snaps, then you got a problem. You need an explosive receiver next to Galladay or just going forward. The NFL is about big plays down the field now. They're about explosive plays. Mahomes can chop you up underneath if he need to. But, you know, if I have to go the length of the field, let's say 7 times to win a game, okay? I got to go the length of the field 7 times to win a game. And the other guy got to go the length of the field, let's say 3 times to win a game. Who going to have less interceptions? Who going to have higher completion percentages or more successful, you know, win percentage? It's going to be the guy that don't have to go the length of the field 7 times. Stafford legitimately has to go the length of the field. There's no explosive plays. He can't just toss it and have a rookie go have a running back go to distance. He can't throw a screen pass and they go to distance. He barely can throw a 9 route and they can go to. He don't have no explosive weapons, especially without Galladay. If Galladay had a Deshaun Jackson in his prime, even right now, Deshaun Jackson on the side of him, or Joey Galloway, he'd be dangerous. That's why they messed up with Calvin Johnson. They put a Nate Burleson on the side of Calvin Johnson. But, you know, if you put an explosive deep threat next to Calvin Johnson or Galladay, they become unstoppable, especially when you have Hockenson at the tight end position. So you want to know why they lack explosive plays? They lack explosive athletes. So Stafford is that guy that got to go the length of the field 7 times to win a game. Kyler Murray don't. Kyler Murray can break off an explosive play with his legs. Kyler Murray can fake like he about to run and go deep to DeAndre Hopkins. And they don't have Christian Kirk this weekend. He can hand the ball off to Kenyon Drake or throw a screen pass to him. He can go the length of the field. So really, in a lot of situations over the years, even with the Calvin Johnson era, Matthew Stafford been bringing a knife to a bazooka fight. They haven't surrounded him with the right weapons to get the most out of Stafford, get the most out of Tate, get the most out of Jones. He lacks explosive weapons. So you want me to answer the question, why are they only have 2 long completions down the field through 2 weeks and 8 last year? They lack explosive athletes, and they lack Kenny Galladay, first of all. So let me know what you guys think about the video. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation to the channel? Cash App at CJGood313. Appreciate the love, support. Don't forget, check my other channel out, Goodfellas Sports TV, right here on YouTube for more sports, music, news, and entertainment. One time for the one time. We gone.